So today we are going to study about lymph and the lymph or tissue fluid. Now, in this section we are going to study about three things. What is lymph? Number one. Number two, how lymph is formed. Number three, the functions of the lymph. Okay, functions of the lymph. Okay, and then we are also going to study about what is lymph, and then in this section we are also going to study about how it is different from blood or how it is related to blood. So what is the relation between lymph and blood? So these three topics we are going to study about today. Okay, so what is lymph? Lymph is also called as a tissue fluid. That why it is called as tissue fluid, that we are going to discuss later. Okay, so what is lymph? Now, lymph is basically colorless fluid, colorless. So you can see lymph is colorless fluid and blood is having red color, but the lymph is colorless. Okay. Now, how it is similar to blood? Lymph has got less proteins. Okay. And all the other things, it has got white blood cells. Lymph has got white blood cells. Okay, it contains less proteins and it is colorless. These are the three main characteristics of lymph. Now, if we are going to study about how the lymph is formed, so before that we are going to study one simple equation which I made, is that lymph is equal to blood minus bracket blood cells plus, or we simply write here, rather than writing blood cells we can simply write here RBC plus larger proteins. So what is this? What is the meaning of this equation? So from the blood, if you remove red blood cells and larger proteins, so from the blood, if we remove red blood cells and larger protein, what we are going to get? We are going to get the lymph. So lymph is formed from blood only. Okay, now we are going to study about the second topic, that how the lymph is formed. Now, as I have told you in the previous section, that whenever an artery enters a tissue or organ, suppose this is a tissue or organ. I already told you, whenever artery enters into tissue or organ, it divides into capillaries, and these capillaries join to form veins. This is the flow of blood. So I will make an arrow to show the flow of blood. This is how the blood is flowing. Okay. So whenever an artery enters a tissue or organ, it divides. The artery divides into what? Into capillaries. Artery divides and forms capillaries. Okay. Now you can see here artery divides into capillaries. Now already we have studied about the capillary, the structure of the capillary. What is the structure of capillary? Capillaries are one cell thick. And what is the function of capillaries? They help in exchange of substances. So they are one cell thick and they exchange substances. Okay, exchange of materials. Now, suppose this is a capillary, okay, and the blood is there. Blood is having cells and plasma. Okay, now through these capillary, the substances will move out. Okay, so through these capillaries, the substances move out. Outside, what is outside? This is a capillary. What is outside? Outside is tissue. Different cells are there of the tissue. Okay, so this plasma is coming out. This plasma contains, what does this plasma contain? It does not contain red blood cell, it contains white blood cells. It contains less proteins. Why less proteins? Because the larger proteins cannot cross the gaps. Now inside these cells, if you see the cells of the capillaries, they are like this. Okay, they are very close to each other and they have very little space. So through this space, only smaller proteins can pass. Only smaller proteins can pass. Okay, so the larger proteins are inside the blood only. Larger proteins does not come out of the plasma, it remains inside the capillaries. But WBC can easily come out of the wall of the capillary. WBC can come out of the wall of the capillary, and smaller proteins can come out, can pass through the wall of the capillaries. And the liquid portion, the plasma, the liquid portion of the plasma like water and nutrients, they all can easily come out of the capillaries, and then they go, these all things, WBC, lesser proteins, water, nutrient, they go into cells and tissues. Okay, in between the cells and tissues, so they remain there. Now if this will continue to happen, then from every organ, we have lot of organ and tissues and cells. From every organ, cells and tissues, what will happen? All the plasma will come out and the blood volume will decrease. So what happens? Some of the tissue fluid, the fluid which is coming out of the capillaries goes back into the capillaries. So when the artery divides into capillaries, the materials come out, and when they unite to form the veins, the materials go back. Okay, so the materials go back into them. So let us try to make it more clear. Now, artery divides into capillaries. Okay, and when they divide into capillaries, the substances come out. And when these capillaries, different capillaries, when these capillaries unite, they form veins. Okay, and when they are united at the same time, the substances which have gone out, the plasma which have gone out, will return back. Plasma returns back to capillary. Okay, but suppose 100 ml of the plasma has moved out, but total 100 ml of the plasma will not come back into the capillary back. Okay, so some of the plasma will remain in the tissue. some of the plasma will remain in the tissue, and that remaining tissue, that remaining plasma is called as the lymph or tissue fluid. So now, as you can see, this is a text from NCERT. As you can see, what is written here? This is called as lymph or tissue fluid. How it is formed? Through the pores, through the pores, through the pores, through the pores. Pores of what? Pores of the capillaries. Through the pores present. That is what I was explaining you in the last page. I was explaining you in this page that artery divides into capillaries. And then if you see here, yes, so I was explaining you this, that capillaries are one side thick and their pores are there, their cells are there, the cells of the capillaries. So in between these cells there are having very small gaps are there, and these gaps are called as pores. So through these pores, through the pores present in the walls of the capillaries, some amount of plasma and the proteins, means the larger proteins cannot pass, only the smaller proteins can pass, and the blood cells. Now this blood cell does not mean RBC, it does not have RBC, it only have WBC and platelets. So that, if you remember, I gave you the equation in the first, that blood, if you from the blood, if you remove RBC and the larger proteins, what you are going to get? You are going to get lymph. So lymph is colorless because it does not have RBC. Lymph is having lesser proteins. Why? Because the larger proteins cannot cross the pores of the capillaries, or it cannot, simply you can say, it cannot cross the capillaries. So you can see, and then whatever is formed, whatever is present in the intercellular space. What is intercellular space? As I have told you previously, here you can see these plasma returns, this plasma comes out, and this plasma will remain. I told you this plasma will be present in the tissue. Where in the tissue? In between the cells of the tissue. So this is a tissue and these are the cells of the tissue. So in between the cells of the tissue there is a gap is there. This gap is called as intercellular space. So this plasma will remain in the intercellular space. Okay, so this is what I am going to, this was I was explaining to you. So what is the characteristics of the lymph? It is colorless. It is similar to the plasma of blood, but colorless because it does not have RBCs, and contain less protein because the larger proteins cannot cross the gap. Only the smaller proteins are present in the lymph. Okay, so this is how the lymph is formed. Okay, now let us discuss one more thing, that I was explaining you, that if all the tissues and cells will take some plasma from the blood, then the blood volume will decrease. It means that the plasma has to return back into the blood. The plasma or the lymph has to return back. So I told you the plasma returns back to the capillary. Okay, the plasma returns back to the capillary, but some will remain in the tissue. Some will remain in the tissue, and that remaining plasma is called as lymph or tissue fluid. Now this tissue fluid also goes back. How does it go back? So the lymph, now where it is present? It is present in the intercellular spaces. Okay, so this the lymph from the intercellular spaces of the tissue will go into, it will take another pathway, it will take another path to go back to the blood. What is that path? So the lymph from the tissue will go into the lymph capillaries. Now these are not blood capillaries, these are different from blood capillaries. So lymph flows into lymph capillaries, okay, and these lymph capillaries join to form larger tubes called as lymph vessels, okay, and these lymph vessels then transport the blood. These lymph vessels, they transport the blood to the larger veins. So they open into the larger veins. So how does the lymph from the tissue will go back to the blood? How? So larger vein, vein means vein, what is flowing in the vein? Blood. So this is another path through which the lymph goes back into the, so lymph get transported by the lymphatic capillaries or the lymph capillaries into the lymph vessels. The lymph vessels, they join the larger veins, and then these larger veins then directly send the lymph into back into the blood. So this is how the blood volume is maintained. Now there is a third question also, I told you. What is the third question? That what are the functions of the lymph? Now when the lymph goes back into the blood, it transport, number one, functions. So I will write here functions of lymph. Okay. Now, so what is the first function of the lymph? Number one. Now it transports absorbed and digested fat. So absorbed and digested fat is transported by the lymph. So lymph absorbs the digested fat from the small intestine. So where it is the fat digested? In the small intestine. So the fat get digested in the small intestine, and from there it is absorbed and then it is transported to the blood by the lymph. Okay, because after the digestion also the fat is so big that it cannot enter the blood vessels or capillaries. The pores of the capillaries are very small. Okay, so the fat is bigger and the pores is small, so it cannot enter the pore. So it enters through the lymph because the lymph vessels have larger pore. Okay, now second is it also transports. Now this is it also transports lymphocyte. That is a type of white blood cell. This lymphocyte is a type of white blood cell. Now this lymphocyte provides immunity to the body, as we know that. So the lymphocyte is also transported by the, now this is not given in the NCERT, so I will make a star here, but this is also a function of the lymph, so you can note down. Number 3 is given in your NCERT is that now the excess fluid present in the intercellular space is transported back to the blood. Okay, so these are the 3 functions of the, so you can see here, lymph carries digested and absorbed fat from the intestine, this is given, and drains excess fluid from extracellular space. This is extracellular means intracellular space, this is same. extracellular is equal to intercellular space back into the blood. Okay, so these are the three main functions of the, which I have already. Excess fluid present in the intercellular space is transported back to the blood. Where is this intercellular space? Present in the bracket, you can write tissues. Okay, so these are the functions of the lymph. Hope you will understand.